Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. In today's video, I want to share with you guys one very simple tip that you guys can do to improve your editing speed dramatically. I'm going to show you guys a few tips, but there's one specifically that I want to show you that if you do right now, it's going to really help you when it comes to building your consistency while you're editing. So you definitely want to stay to the end of the video. And real quick, before I get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys would like to participate in the next giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new upload and when I announce the winners every Friday. And lastly, make sure you guys put down your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account down in the comment section below, and you guys will be automatically entered into the giveaway. And lastly, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do, go down to the bottom right, hit on support a creator, type in my creator code, which is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator in the item shop. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I want to share with you guys a couple of tips that you guys can use to improve your editing speed. So this first thing real quick, it really doesn't have much to do with necessarily your editing speed. But if you want to hit a lot more shots after your edits, you always want to have good crosshair placement after your edits. So whenever you're finishing off an edit, you always want to finish the edit and have your crosshair as close as possible to the target that you're shooting at. And that's going to drastically improve your accuracy after you go for edits versus if you have an edit and you finish the edit like completely on the opposite side of where the player you're trying to shoot. It's gonna make you have to go for a really big flick shot to line up your shot, and you're not going to be as accurate as if you have an edit where as soon as you edit, you're already ready to pull the trigger and you're going to be a lot more accurate, and you're going to hit a lot more damage as well. So the biggest thing that you guys want to do that's going to improve your editing speed immediately, and it's something you guys can implement to your game right away, that really has made some of the biggest difference as far as improving my consistency, because I think improving your editing speed is really important, but what's even more important is building that consistency. And the number one thing you guys want to do is when you're editing, you always want to lean in the door. You always want to move your player in the direction of which you're editing. So for example, if you're editing to the left, you want to move your character to the left as well. And if you're editing to the right, then you want to move your character to the right. And this is just such a helpful tactic that you guys can use to improve your editing consistency. Now, this is also really important as well when you are aiming from longer distances. And the reason why this is so effective is, as I'm going to show here, especially if you play it on linear settings. So if you want to shoot a player from distance, say the range here, and you have to move over just slightly, it could be a little bit difficult to only aim with the right stick because you're kind of going to be all over the place, and it's going to be a lot harder to line up your shot. Versus instead, if you decide to move your character, you can see how much more consistent it is to just move your character over slightly. So this can really improve your aim as well. But the same principle applies to when you're editing. If you're able to move your character as well in the direction of the direction that you're editing, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot more consistent for you to be able to edit. So that's why it's really important that if you're editing to that right side or if you're editing to the left side, that you follow that direction as well. And that's really going to help you out a ton if you are looking to improve your editing consistency. So that is going to be the number one thing that you guys want to do, that I think that you can literally implement into your game right away. That is going to make a big difference, because a lot of ways to improve your editing speed is maybe going to go through editing courses, and things like that really do take time. But there is a few simple things you can do, like the one I just mentioned, that can improve your editing speed right away without you having to take, weeks and weeks and weeks to practice your edits. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to simple things that you can add to your game immediately, a lot of the times when you are going into a game and you're normally playing, a lot of the times if you're not already doing the right things, your muscle memory is going to cause you to do the opposite of what you should be doing. So the example that I made is when you want to edit, you want to lean or move your character in that same direction. But if you're in a game and every gunfight you normally like lean the opposite direction, or if you don't lean in the direction at all when you are going to edit, a lot of times you're going to default into doing that immediately, even though that you shouldn't be doing that. So one thing you just have to do in order to build that consistency of doing like the right plays is you really just have to make a conscious effort whenever you're in gunfight against another player that you make sure you do the correct movement, and that's how you're going to be able to build your muscle memory. So that's really the hardest part. Even though you can implement things right away into your game, you just have to get that muscle memory of doing the right thing, and then eventually you're going to be making the right plays without really having to think about it, and you're going to become a much better player a lot easier. And I also have another tip that you guys can utilize a lot. So if you happen to miss a lot of your shotgun shots at close range, one thing that I always do is if I'm going to go for a shotgun shot, you always want to full commit that shot, meaning you always want to go for it and play in the aggro position, because when you're going for an edit on other player, if you're the closer you are to that player, the easier it is to line up and hit that shot, and also you're going to be hitting a lot more damage. So usually the majority of times, and pretty much almost every single time I use my shotgun and I go for an edit, I pretty much decide that as soon as I finish that edit, I'm going to go ahead and just jump at the other player and go for an aggressive type of push. And this could be a really good way to improve your shotgun aim, because if you're leaning away, so even if you lean in the direction of which you're trying to edit, it's going to allow you to edit a lot better. But if you're kind of far back, even if you're able to get off that edit, you're not going to be hitting for much damage if you're from a longer distance out, and you're really just giving the other player a better shot on you. So a lot of times, if you want to just improve your shotgun aim, you want to play the more aggro position where you're constantly on the offensive, because the closer you are to the other player, the easier it is to line up your shot and hit more damage. And it's true when it comes to headshots, you're going to be hitting way higher headshot damage. And this is something that I noticed a ton. It's really not too bad. If you have a purple or gold pump, you're a lot of the times going to be hitting a lot more damage from those ranges. But if you have either like a green or even like a gray, green, or blue pump, you really do have to play aggressive with your shotgun shots, because you're not going to be hitting as much damage initially. So you really want to make sure your shots are as lined up as you can, and you're going to be able to do so if you take the more aggressive route and you play a little bit faster on the other player. So those are going to be my 3 tips for improving your editing speed and consistency, and also can be tied into aim as well. So that first one, you really want to have that good crosshair placement after you finish off your edit. So you want to try to finish off your edit as close to the other player as possible. So as soon as you finish off that edit, you're going to be able to shoot right away without having to go for like a crazy flick shot, which tend to be not the most accurate play at all when it comes to shooting your shotguns. So that's very important. And the second thing, which is the most important one, and that was just going to be leaning or moving your character in the direction of where you're trying to edit. So if you're trying to edit to the left, then you want to move your character in the left direction. And if you're trying to edit to the right, then you want to edit and move your character in the right direction. That's going to help build your consistency. So when you are going for edits in game, it's going to be a lot easier to do so, and you're going to have a lot more control over your crosshair no matter what sensitivity you play on. So that's the most important thing you guys want to do in order to build and improve that consistency, and also can improve your speed as well. And then that third thing was when it came to range, I typically like to go for the more aggressive push when it comes to shotguns, because if you're not hitting for high damage shots, the best way to hit more damage is to be closer to the other player. So usually when I go for an edit with my shotgun, the majority of times, not every single time, but the majority of times, if I want to go for a shotgun shot, I go for an edit to the left or right, I move my character or lean in that direction, and then I go for an aggro play on that player. And a lot of times, depending on the player you go against, you can catch them off guard, because a lot of people don't expect you to play really aggressive initially in a fight, so you can use that to your advantage. So those are going to be my 3 ways to improve your consistency and your aim. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys could, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit the notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new video. And as well, I do live stream every single day on this channel at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new stream. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.